About 5 years ago, I took a test. The test took about 5 minutes. It was simple, but it was deep and thorough. And as simple as the test was, it left a lasting, permanent impression in my mind and on my life. The test was called the rocking chair test. This is where I was asked to fast forward my life into my 80s and my 90s while I was sitting on maybe my front porch or in my living room in a rocking chair. I was asked to reflect back on my life, some of the things that I wish I would have done differently, some of the things I did really well, some of the things that have yet to happen yet, and I was able to write those out. There were two things that came from 44 years of life on this planet and taking the rocking chair test and surrounding myself by hand-picked mentors. Two universal laws that I want to share with you today. These two universal laws over the last 5 years I have practiced, and I'm in a position today that in my 20s and 30s I would have never imagined I would have been in. And I got here by taking the rocking chair test. I'm excited to share the two universal laws with you today, and I'm excited to share with you the rocking chair test. Hey friends, I want to welcome you back to another episode of Making Sense of the Markets. Today is Monday, December 23rd, 2019. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year first off. So I'm so excited to be here today. I get to share with you part 4 of my 5-part series on how to recession-proof your life and your finances. And today is all about investing. This is probably the most important topic of the 5-part series because today I get to share with you the two universal laws that I learned from taking that rocking chair test that absolutely changed my life. And so let's just jump right into this. So the first universal law of investing is investing in you. The second is investing in the financial markets. Relative to investing in you, I'm going to share with you 3 things that I have done that, quite honestly, if you were to ask the 25 or 30, 35-year-old version of myself, if I would recognize the 44-year-old Dan Keller today, where I'm at emotionally, where I'm at physically, financially, spiritually, the 25, 30, 35-year-old version of myself would have laughed, would have never believed that I am where I'm at today. And I am where I'm at today because of this first universal law. So there's 3 parts of this that I want to share with you. The first is wake up an hour earlier every single day. What I did is I woke up an hour earlier about 5 or 6 years ago every single day, even on the weekends. And what I do is I take that time to invest in myself. I take that time to fill a particular bucket in my life that I need filled. And so at the time I was struggling 5, 6 years ago on generating more business for my mortgage practice. So I became obsessed with sales and marketing and adding more value to my clients, adding more value to real estate professionals and business attorneys and financial planners that sent us business. And then shortly after that, I realized that I needed to put more focus on becoming a better leader at home, being a better father and being a better husband. And so I found myself reading more scripture and more books on parenting and books written by marriage counselors. And most recently, over the past 2 or 3 years, I've become obsessed with leadership. And so whatever bucket needs to be filled in your life, use that extra hour in the morning to invest in you, reading or listening to audiobooks. Listen, we live in the digital era, the era of information. You can find anything you want online and learn. So I encourage you to do that. The second thing is you need to invest in your physical health. 3 to 5 days a week, you need to get your heart rate up for 30 to 60 minutes. It's that simple. Invest in your health. You know, a friend of my wife and I's, his name is Bob. He owns Bob's Red Mill in Portland, Oregon. And Bob became a millionaire after the age of 60. And on his wall as you walk into their corporate office, it says, "Had I known I was going to live this long, I surely would have paid better attention to my health." And so the idea around this is that you're paying more attention, taking that rocking chair test, paying better attention to your health and to your body and to your personal fitness. The third is I want you to limit tobacco and alcohol consumption, and I want you to increase water consumption. You should consume 8-ounce bottles or glasses of water a day. It's that simple. So those are the 3 tips that absolutely changed my life in regards to investing in me. And so what I want to do right now is change gears into the financial markets. So the other universal law is investing in the financial markets. Now, I want to start off by saying I'm not a financial planner. I've become obsessed with understanding financial planning and understanding the basics of budgeting and investing. But I will not talk about stocks and bonds and equities and all that good stuff. I have an incredible financial planner that I can recommend you to for those questions. But what I want to do is share some very simple laws under the universal law of investing that I practice. I practice these on a monthly basis with my wife, and they've changed our financial lives forever. And in fact, changed our financial tree or our family tree. So I believe that it's very simple. I'm a very simple guy. I coach baseball up at the high school at King's High School. I run a branch and have nine employees on my team. I tell everyone that I'm a very simple, let's not overcomplicate things. So keeping it simple here, I believe that every single month that 20% of what you earn should go into investing in the markets. Now that could be part of your 401k, that could be in the stock markets. I believe that 10% you should give away. You should give to charity or you should give to the Lord. I believe that 30 or 40% you're going to give to the IRS, no matter what, and the other 30% or so you can live on. Part of that is living within your means. You may need to make adjustments in one spot to make sure that you're filling the first two, and I believe that you should save and invest, and I believe that you should give. And then you can make changes elsewhere. So it's that simple. It's that simple. Now, what I want to do is I want to talk about there's two different types of investors, and I want to keep this super simple too. I'll give you an example of the most common investor. This is someone like myself, where we have real estate that we live in. All right, that's set it, forget it. Okay. The other part of it, in one of the first parts of this 5-part series, I talked about if you stay put for 5 to 10 years, you can't go wrong in real estate. Same thing in the stock market. There's plenty of data out there that says over the last 30 years that the S&P 500, that real estate has generated a return on investment of about 8% annually or over time. So if you were to take that 8% and plug that into the rule of 72, that basically states that every 8 to 10 years, that investment will double. Well, I've got 30 to 40 years left, let's say. So think about that. For example, everything that I have in my portfolio is going to double every 10 years. And if you practice that simple universal law, looking back when you're 80 or 90, you'll be very, very pleased. So the first type of investor is someone like myself. You own real estate. You may have a rental property or two. You may own commercial real estate in addition to that, but you're not a real estate investor. You own real estate. You max out your 401k every single year. $19,000 a year in 2019 is what you can contribute, and then you're investing 20% into the stock market. That's the standard, most typical investor. The other is the entrepreneur that's just focused on investing in their own lives and their own business. I want to close with this. These changes, none of this information helps if you don't make drastic moves to improve where you're at and where you're going. So 2020 is going to be no different than 2019 unless you take massive action. I want to be here to help you. If you have any questions, if you need an introduction to an estate attorney or to a financial planner, I am here to help. I want to close by saying I appreciate you. Thank you for listening. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and I'm here if you need anything. Bye for now.